Hi, welcome to English 114 Online. This week we're going to talk about trip reports or site visit reports, as they are sometimes called. The information is from Chapter 10. It's on page 350 in your book, and there's just a little bit of information for you to read. If you'd like to go back and view the PowerPoint on the informal reports, when we first started doing these informal reports, you certainly can if you feel like you need to do that. But not too much reading this time, just that section. There's also a sample of a trip report in your textbook. It's figure 10.6, and it's on page 351 and 352. And the actual problem that we're going to be doing, or the exercise, is exercise 4 on page 356, 357 in your book. So you're going to write a memo report reporting on a trip that you took, and your textbook covers all the details that you'll need for that. The example that we have in the book is a memo, and oftentimes in real life, in a real job situation, you will just send an email to your manager, to your supervisor. But I want you to create the document with the 4 headings for memos, the 2 from subject and date. Don't forget to align your heading text lines by so that it's easier to read. It just looks neater. And if you go back and are reviewing your assignments that I've made comments on before, several of you have gotten that comment that you need to align your memo headings, so don't forget to do that. But I want you to know how to create the full-fledged memo, and so instead of the email, we're of course going to do the memo format. What these types of reports do is provide information for a company visit that you have been given permission to do or required to do, and you're just reporting back to your manager or supervisor what happened on the visit and what was accomplished on the visit. And so the sample in the book introduces the memo information with a heading called the problem, but we're not going to use that. We're going to use introductory summary to be in line with what we've been doing all along. But the information is the same as is included in the sample in your book. So it would be your purpose statement, that you went on the trip, why you went. The textbook tells you all the details that you need for that, and also the dates of the trip and where you went. And make sure the book gives you some suggested dates, but it would be better if you used more recent dates, current dates. So you're going to get your information from there. That's going to be your introductory summary. And then the next part of the report is going to be the action that you took. And so we're going to call that section action. Let me see where I wrote it down. Action taken, I believe it is. Yes, action taken. And so we're going to create the next section, action taken, and under that you're going to list the 2 things that you accomplished while you were visiting these hospitals that had installed your generators. And there are 2 parts that your text tells you about in exercise 4. One part is the testing that you actually did, so I would bullet that, and then the second thing is some training that you did, and so I would make that a second bullet point. It's just easier for a reader to see that there are 2 separate things that you did there. You did some testing and you did some training. And then the sample in our book gives a heading called recommendations, where some recommendations were made, but our problem in exercise 4 doesn't ask us to make any kind of recommendations. In fact, your report is going to say that you found everything there satisfactory and all the equipment working well. And so you're just going to have your third and final heading be the conclusion, and use the concluding remarks that your exercise 4 gives you to use. Of course, you can reword this information and make it your own, but it's a pretty straightforward, simple report. You're just basically reporting information. So we're going back to a level 1 report here, where you're not really making any kind of analysis or recommendations. You're just reporting on what you did at these different hospitals. So I don't think it'll be a difficult assignment for you to do. The other thing that I want you to continue to work on this week, nothing else is due for it right away, but I want you to continue to work on your proposal assignment. The written proposal is due December 4th, as well as the online presentation of that same proposal is due December 4th. So you have some time to continue to work on it. And next week, I'm just going to have you continue to work on those reports, and we won't be doing a separate report like we're doing this week. So the rest of the semester after this week, you'll just be working on your very best effort at your proposal report, and then you'll be working on putting together your oral presentation of your, or online presentation, I should say, of your proposal report. So, but you still have to be investigating and gathering information. So, if you have any questions this week, contact me, ask me. I'll be glad to help you. I really feel like this new report, the TRIP report, will be fairly easy for you to do. But spend most of your time working on your proposal, because that's going to take some thinking, some investigating, and maybe even some inventing in order to do that. But have a great week, and let me know if you need any assistance. As always, my online office hour, my virtual office hour, is Wednesday from 9:30 to 10:30. So maybe I'll see somebody there eventually. Nobody's shown up yet. But again, if you want to meet me virtually some other time, just let me know, and we can still, I can talk to you face to face on the computer just like I can at my virtual office hour. We're just making an arrangement for a different time. So have a great week, and I will see you next week.